It is tractor time. Here we go. We got the Jeep because I don't have a winch on the truck yet. We're on the trailer. So I got the Jeep and we're heading to get something cool. We made it. There it is. 9N Ford. I like it. And it's been sitting here since when?
Probably. Oh, that was 85 or 86.
Tractor's been sitting here since 85, 86. It had a building over it, right? You said the building fell down?
Yeah. Yeah, ran out of gas and I pulled it in that building and never moved it again. Look what you get bought. This will really surprise you.
Ancient old tires are holding air for the moment. So we'll see if we get it loaded here. So there's stuff over here and he said we could come back and look. So he said boats and cars and I don't know what. There's a Camino. I don't know what's gonna happen with this stuff. Ooh. But I like it. See the trailer? That's a single horse trailer. See how skinny it is? I hope you can hear me. It's kind of breezy this morning, but we are going to take a little closer look at this. What you're looking at is a 40s model. I don't know at this point, I don't know exactly. But the 9N, this is a Ford 9N that debuted in 1939. And then it was replaced in the late 40s, I'm not sure the year, 47, 48, with the 8N. For a while in between there was a 2N, which was kind of wartime, 42, 43, had steel wheels and the hand crank. So this does have the hand crank, but the 2N had the steel wheels, but on the serial number it was still designated as a 9N, even though they called it a 2N because there were a few changes. But this is a 3-speed, about 120 cubic inch engine on it, 3-speed transmission. Pretty basic. This is the first tractor to have a first tractor in America to have the 3-point hitch, the standard hitch that we have still in use today, really, on most things. The wind's picking up, so I hope you can still hear me. This was replaced by the 8N, which, if it still had paint on it, 8N was a little different shade of gray. They were all gray. They're all based on the Ferguson. So there used to be a Ferguson. Ron, my neighbor Ron, has one that is a Ferguson. They look very, very similar. They're very similar tractors in general. Because Ford and Ferguson had an agreement back then. When Henry Ford II took over the company, the agreement was dissolved, and after that Ferguson wound up going to Macy, so that's when you come up with the Macy Ferguson. So the Macy Ferguson, the Ferguson in Macy Ferguson, is actually had the agreement with Ford first. When you see the old Ferguson tractors, that's why they look like the 9N, 2N, 8N tractors. Surprisingly, the tires have been flat for ages, and they're actually still holding with the same air that I put in them yesterday. So you'd be surprised what old rubber tires can do. He did have the water drained out of it, so that's a good thing, and he did continue to keep it turned over to make sure the engine is free. So the engine is not seized on it, and there should not be water in it, so it shouldn't have frozen. Don't see where there would be any cracks or anything in it. So we're gonna have to get a battery in it and get playing with it, get some clean fuel ran to it, and go from there. So I'll take a look here. The little hood battery cover is gone. As you can see, reverse, first, second, and third, so it is just a 3-speed. They were not, they're legendary tractors. Like, they're timeless. Everybody knows and loves the Ford 8N, 9N tractors, but they're classic, but they're not super fantastic. Steering wasn't great. They got the 3-point, but it's not a live PTO. Steering's questionable. I mean, they're old tractors. They're implements. They were okay, but they honestly didn't have what a lot of the competition had. But they're good tractors. They're simple and they're reliable and they're fun. So I don't really know what we're going to do with it. We're probably going to hang on to it, because this is something that my dad and I have wanted pretty much my whole life. We've talked about getting an old Ford tractor. We've looked at tractors. I mean, we came up with that, which is a much smaller version. We've had and used an Alice Chalmers and John Deere. When I was a kid, he had them at work that we used a lot, but even Fordsons, we've looked at a bunch. We've almost bought a few, and we just never have. And this one came along. It's far from the greatest that we've looked at. May or may not be the worst one we looked at, but my sister's in-laws had it sitting at their place, and we worked out a deal on it. It's been sitting there for, I say, 85, 86 is what he told me. So we figured we would give it a shot, bring it home, and see if there's any life in it. So stay tuned. There will be other videos where we actually get a little more involved. So you have a wonderful day, and we'll catch you next time.